Hello everyone, my name is Chip. New sets getting released make for an exciting time in Magic. People are testing out new decks, mechanics and combos, and Zendikar Rising is making waves. Unfortunately, Death and Taxes hates waves. It hates them so much, if you could turn a deck into a person, Death and Taxes would be someone getting mad at children splashing at the pool. Why do you hate fun, sir? So today I've gone with the old faithful mono-white Taxes. That's right, I managed to get my digital hands on a full playset of Skyclave Apparition and Archon of Justice, and we're playing both in the 75 today. So here's the deck. It's a mono-white Eldrazi Taxes list, running some new cards from Zendikar Rising. I know, seeing these cards together is a flavour fail, and it may lead to varying degrees of outrage from some of you, ranging from What? To But while our taxing pieces can slowly sabotage our opponent's game plans, sometimes to break something, you just need to hit it with a hammer. In this case, it's a big Lovecraftian hammer named Reality Smasher. And now for the deck list. For our 1-drops, we're running 4 Giver of Runes, 4 Path to Exile, and 4 Aether Vial. For 2-drops, we've got 4 Leonin Arbiter, 4 Thalia Guardian of Thraben, and 2 Selfless Spirit. 3-drops, we're running 3 Lurrus of the Dream Den, 4 Skyclave Apparition as our new catch almost all things removal, and 2 Eldrazi Displacer. Eldrazi Displacer is able to protect our creatures, blink out our Skyclave to keep removing our opponent's threats, and it's able to delete any tokens that get left behind should they become a problem. And for our top end, we've got 4 Thought-Knot Seers and 3 Reality Smashers. Able to disrupt our opponent's game plans while beating in for high numbers, these make for ideal finishes. For colorless sources, we're running 4 Ghost Quarter, 4 Eldrazi Temple as it provides double mana for our Eldrazi's, and 2 Shefet Dunes, which acts as our dual land and can be used to pump our board in a pinch. Our other lands are 1 Horizon Canopy and 1 Sunbaked Canyon. These can draw as a card if we ever start to flood out, and 10 basic planes. For our sideboard, we've got a full playset of Archon of Emeria. It disrupts our opponent's lands and limits the number of spells that can be played. It pairs very nicely with Giver of Runes. 1 Damping Sphere, similar to Archon, it punishes players for playing multiple spells, also undoes Tron lands, but can hurt our Eldrazi Temples as well. 1 Stony Silence, an extra hate piece against Tron and other artifact heavy strategies. 2 Burrenton Forge-Tender, protection from red can save our creatures from an Anger of the Gods, or prevent the damage from a red source, and it can be cast from grave with Lurrus. 2 Grand Abolisher stands in as our Teferi, stops our opponent from interacting during our turn. 2 Tocatli Honor Guard, great in the humans matchup, can be played early to shut them down, great in any matchup that relies on creature ETBs. And finally, I'm trying out 3 Soul Guide Lanterns over Rest in Peace. Rest in Peace is a great card, but it shuts down our Lurrus. Soul Guide Lantern can be repeatedly cast with Lurrus, and can be used as a draw engine without affecting our grave. When it enters the battlefield, it exiles a card from grave. So even if our opponent has a Stony Silence or something similar out, we can still exile a troublesome card. And that's the deck. Now, I release a video every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so if you like this video, be sure to check some of my others out, and if you really like this video, maybe show it to a friend. Alright, that's enough talk, let's get on with these games. We lose the die roll. No Vial, but it's good Taxes hand, so we're going to keep. Opponent plays a mountain into Foundry Street Denizen. Okay, so we're against Goblins, I'm guessing. Lurrus of the Dream Den. Makes me a little less afraid to run out the Giver. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a mountain, runs out the Goblin Bushwhacker, palms the board, and swings in. We won't block just yet. They pass to us. We draw the Ghost Quarter. Well, that's good. So we're going to go Plains. And we will run out the Arbiter. We've got Giver of Runes for protection. We'll just pass it there. Opponent plays a mountain. They run out a Goblin Chieftain, pumping their board, and they swing in. I think we can really blow them out here. Giver of Runes is going to give Leonin Arbiter protection from red. Alright, thank you very much. Selfless Spirit too. We're just going to Ghost Quarter them. We'll run out Selfless Spirit, and we'll just swing in for 2. Opponent takes it down to 18, and we pass the turn. Opponent swings in for 1. Well, we're just going to take it. Plays a Mog Fanatic, playing another one. Okay. They pass to us. Gonna go to combat, swing with the Selfless Spirit. Opponent sacks a Mog Fanatic to deal with it. Sacrifice it in response. Just run out Displacer. Pass the turn there. Opponent does nothing and passes. And we draw a Giver of Runes. Well, we're going to lead on Giver of Runes. I'm going to attack with the Displacer. Opponent takes it down to 15. Pass it there. Oh, they play the mountain. They get a Goblin Guide and the Reckless Bushwhacker. Okay. They swing in with everything. Goblin Guide reveals the land. Okay. That's very good. I'm going to path the Goblin Guide, and I will block with Arbiter, block the Mog Fanatic, and then we'll just take 4 down to 8. Opponent passes to us. We draw a Ghost Quarter. We could get their last card out of their hand with Thought-Knot. I think that's the play. Alright, opponent scoops it up. They don't want us to see that last card. Very nice. Against Goblins, protection from red. Very good. Preventing MTBs with Tocatli seems good. And the Archon of Emerias seem Really, really good. Thalia, very lackluster. They're not really searching, so Arbiter isn't great, but it's another card we can get back with Lurrus. We're bringing in Tocatlis, so we'll just go down the Thought-Knot Seers. Run it back like that. Oh, the good old no-lander. Not against an aggro deck, thank you very much. I rather like this one. We're going to keep. Normally, I'd put the planes back and keep the Horizon Canopy, but because they're an aggro deck, put Horizon Canopy away. Alright, they lead on a Foundry Street Denizen. They pass to us. We pull the Giver, so we're going to lead on a Giver of Runes. Pass it there. Mog War Marshal. Gross. Alright, Foundry Street becomes a 1-3. Just going to take it for now. We pull another Giver. We're going to lead on Temple and Tocatli. Just pass it there. Opponent lets their Mog War Marshal die. Plays a Mountain. Casts Reality Hemorrhage on our Giver of Runes. Colorless, that's interesting. Well, we'll give Tocatli Pro Red in response. And in response to that, they bolt it. Okay, they swing in for 2. Take it down to 15. They pass to us. Archon of Emeria. We'll lead on that. Stops them getting any Bushwhacker shenanigans. And I think they might have spent all their removal. Goblin Bushwhacker coming down. Pumps the board. The opponent swings in. Just going to block a token. We're down to 8. Eldrazi Displacer, that's a good blocker. So we could play Displacer. Ghost Quarter ourselves, play Giver. Are we at that point yet? I don't think we are. We'll just play the Displacer. We'll pass it there. Opponent's got a Mog Fanatic. Well, we're going to block the 2 smaller ones that they can't kill off with the Mog Fanatic after combat. We're down to 6. Ooh, pull the planes. We'll lead on Giver, hold up Eldrazi Displacer activation. Just pass it there. Opponent plays a Goblin Guide. Pumps the Foundry Street and doesn't attack. Well, that's a win for us. Draw another planes. Alright. We'll run out the Skyclave. And we're just going to eat up that Mog Fanatic. In response, they're going to deal 1 damage to us. We might be dead here. We're going to blink the Skyclave, take out the Foundry Street, and hope our opponent's last card is not Goblin Grenade. We'll just pass it there. Opponent plays a Mountain. Has the Reckless Bushwhacker. Yep. Chooses not to swing. Okay. Reality Smasher. Alright. I think we have to lead on the Reality Smasher. And then we can start blinking the Skyclave Apparition with the Eldrazi Displacer next turn. We'll just get in with the Displacer. Opponent takes it. We pass to them. Do we live? It's a Legion Loyalist. Alright, we get to fight another day. They pass back to us. Another Archon of Emeria. That's kind of handy. We're going to swing in again with the Reality Smasher. Opponent takes it. We'll just pass it there. Hope we can dodge 1 more turn. Opponent sees it. They can't win. Archon of Emeria and Skyclave Apparition with Eldrazi Displacer and Giver of Runes. They can't get through it. Alright, we lose the die roll again. This hand has a very high curve, but it's got 2 new cards in it. I think we'll mull for now. This hand is better. Still has 2 new cards in it, but can actually cast stuff. Only got 1 land, but Aether Vial is very good. Opponent plays a Glacial Fortress tapped. Okay, well, we draw a Path to Exile. Play our planes, run out the Vial, pass the turn there. Opponent plays a Seachrome Coast, keeping things untapped. Alright, and put a counter on our Vial. Going to play our planes. Do we run out the Thalia into a counter? Sure, why not? Ooh, failure. That doesn't seem all that great. What's the other side? Comply. So failure to comply. Okay, so it's like a budget remand. The comply side's cool though. Opponent scoops it up. Seen enough. Okay. Well, against blue-white, hey? Blue-white control. I'm tempted to bring in some Soul Guides, but I don't know what I'd bring them in over. Alright, we'll bring them in over the Reality Smashers. Chances of us ever getting to cast a Reality Smasher and get it resolved is pretty low. And getting Vial up to 5 is just worthless. Can we keep this? Yeah, I'm going to keep this. If we can resolve the spells, we got a little draw engine with Soul Guide and Lurrus. Opponent leads on an island. Draw a Shefet Dunes. Well, we're going to lead on a plains. Pass it there. Oh, okay. Now I see what's going on. Really should have played that Soul Guide Lantern then. Pass to us. Well, we're going to lead on Soul Guide Lantern. Take out that Stripped Riverwinder. Run out Shefet Dunes and we'll just pass it there. They cycle another Stripped Riverwinder. Yep. And they cycle a Glass Dust Hulk. Yep. They play a Seachrome Coast into a Champion of Wits. I've played Champion of Wits. Glacial Fortress and Mystical Dispute go away. Okay. And they pass to us. Giver of Runes as well. Run out Soul Guide Lantern again. Get rid of that Striped Riverwinder. I think we'll just run out of Thalia. Pass it there. Opponent plays a plains. Detention Sphere. Okay. What are you targeting, opponent? Well, in response, we're just going to exile your graveyard, and then the other one gets to stick around. Pretty Detention Sphere, though. They pass to us. We draw a land. Run out Giver of Runes and Displacer. Swing in with Thalia. Opponent cycles the Street Wraith. Yep. Blocks the Thalia with the Champion of Wits. Sure. No. Chooses not to. First strike. They take it down to 16. We pass to them. Opponent plays a Seachrome Coast tap. Transmutes a Drift of Phantasms. Alright, what are you transmuting for? Ardent Plea. They want to wipe the board. They pass to us. Ghost Quarter. Play out the Ghost Quarter. We could blink Champion of Wits, but then they just get to loot again. Kind of like where we're at. I'm tempted to play Lurrus and get another Soul Guide Lantern down, but then they're just going to wipe the board with Ardent Plea. Yep. Champion of Wits blocks the Displacer. Sure. Opponent goes down to 14. Pass the turn there. They cycle a Windcaller Aven. Alright, this is the turn. Ardent Plea comes down. Cascades into Living End. Are you choosing to cast it, opponent? Opponent is choosing to cast it. Well, we'll exile each card in your graveyard. They cycle a Curator of Mysteries, sure. And now our stuff goes to the graveyard. And it's our turn. We'll play Lurrus. And just for security, we're going to get back a Soul Guide Lantern. Exile their Living End. Pass it there. Yep, opponent swings in for 5. Take it down to 15. They pass to us. Oh, we draw a Soul Guide Lantern. Going to attempt to cast this Giver of Runes. Resolves. Lovely. And then Skyclave Apparition can come down. We'll just target the creature. We'll swing in for 3. Opponent takes it down to 11. We're up to 17. Opponent plays a Seachrome Coast tapped. Terminus. Terminus? I don't know what this deck is, but I both love it and hate it. Alright, Terminus resolves. They get an illusion. It's a 4/4. And they pass to us. We're going to play our Thought-Knot Seer. Going to take the Striped Riverwinder. And then I'll just run out another Soul Guide Lantern. Get rid of their Terminus. Pass the turn. Opponent swings in for 5. We're going to take it. They run out the Champion of Wits. They draw 2, discard 2. They discard 2 lands, guessing they kept some action. Ooh, Curator of Mysteries. Draw a Ghost Quarter. It's not particularly exciting here. We'll run out Skyclave Apparition. Going to take that Curator of Mysteries, thank you very much. And we just kind of have to hope they can't remove it. Swing in for 4, opponent takes it down to 7. We pass the turn. Opponent swings in for 6. Okay, no blocks from us. And they scoop up the match. Okay, we lose the die roll. We're going to keep, not my proudest hand, but we're going to keep. Opponent leads on Bloodstained Mire and just passes. Okay. We'll lead on Plains, pass. Opponent plays a Mountain. Just going to run out the Arbiter. Opponent fetches in response. They saw the line. Get a Ketria Triome. Pass it there. Opponent plays a Primordial Beyond. Reveals a Spite Bellows. Evokes the Spite Bellows and blows up our Leonin Arbiter. They pass to us. Another Aether Vial. Well, we'll lead on Aether Vial. And then we'll see what our opponent has in store. Opponent has the Risen Reef. Ability goes off. They get a land into play. They play their land for turn. They pass to us. Put a counter on our Aether Vial. Eldrazi Temple. Play the Eldrazi Temple and run out the Thought-Knot Seer. Let's see what's going on. I see. We're going to take the Thunderkin and we'll pass it there. Opponent plays a Flamekin Harbinger. Risen Reef goes off. Flamekin Harbinger gets to search. Pretty gross. They get the Thunderkin Awakener into hand anyway. They run it out, get another Risen Reef trigger, get back their Spite Bellows. We'll block the Thunderkin. We're down to 12. Opponent has another Flamekin Harbinger. Flamekin Harbinger searches up a Vespelark. They sacrifice Spite Bellows. Yep, blows up our Thought-Knot Seer. Well, we put a counter on our Aether Vial. Draw another Aether Vial. It's not particularly helpful here, is it? We'll just run it out, hold up double path. Opponent's got the Thunderkin Awakener. We're going to path it, and they swing in for 3. Take it down to 9. Cloudkin Seer enters the battlefield. They draw a card, Risen Reef. They pass to us. Put a counter on both our Aether Vials. Draw a Plains. Well, we'll run out the Reality Smasher. Swing in for 5. Opponent blocks. We trample over. They take it down to 15. We pass it there. Opponent plays an Incandescent Soul Stoke. Pumps up all their elementals. Gets a Sacred Foundry into play with Risen Reef. And another Incandescent Soul Stoke. Ugh. We're in a bit of trouble here. Just a little bit. Get a Cabinet of Souls into play. That Risen Reef's just generated so much value. Maybe we should have pathed it. And the Vespelark. I'm happy to concede it there. That's a too big of a threat to deal with. That's too much. Much too much. Okay, you can only cast 1 spell per turn, feels real good. Tocatli shuts down a lot of their ETBs. Soul Guide Lantern stops a lot of their other effects. Go down Thought-Knot Seers. We're going to go down Thalias, I think, because I didn't see any non-creatures, and we'll just drop 1 Vial. We'll run it back like that. Yes, I would like to play first. His hand's very slow. I'm going to mulligan. Yeah, I'm going to... 3 Aether Vials. 3 Aether Vials. I mean, we won't be drawing another one for the rest of the game. We're going to mulligan again. We're going to keep this one. And we get to put 2 cards back. It is Ghost Quarter Plains that are going back. We're going to lean real hard on this Aether Vial. We're going to lead on Eldrazi Temple. run out our Aether Vial. Pass the turn there. Ketria Triome from our opponent. They pass to us. Counter on the Aether Vial. Huh. Play the Eldrazi Temple. We run out the Soul Guide Lantern now for no value. Not yet. We'll just pass it there. This hand got a lot better. Opponent plays a Field of Ruin and a Damping Sphere. No! I need my mana. I need my mana. Alright, they pass to us. I'm going to put a counter on our vial. No, the vial's not bad. Run it out. Alright, we'll pass it there. Opponent plays a Cavern of Souls. Names Elemental. Runs out a Cloudkin Seer. Pass it there. We're going to put our counters on, even though we do need an Aether Vial on 2 for Tocatli. Skyclave Apparition. That's not bad. That is not bad at all. Well, we're just going to run it back. Opponent's got the Incandescent Soulstoke. Plays the Ketria Triome. Doesn't attack. Well, we're going to activate Aether Vial. Put our Apparition into play. We'll take out that Soulstoke. Okay, Aether Vial triggers on the stack. We're going to tick up the one that's on 1. We're not going to tick up the one that's on 3. We did rip the plains. Well, we're just going to run out the Soul Guide Lantern. Pass it there. Opponent plays a Primal Beyond. Cavalier of Dawn in hand. Ugh. Spite Bellows. Okay. Spite Bellows blows up our Skyclave. They get a 3/3 illusion. They pass to us. So we're going to Vial in our Lurrus. We're going to sack the Soul Guide Lantern to draw a card. We do draw plains. That's very good. We'll keep one Aether Vial on 2 and we'll put the other on 4. Play out our plains. Get our Soul Guide Lantern back. Exile their creature. Can't do anything else, so we're just going to pass. Opponent plays a Cavern of Souls. Names Elemental. Surprise, surprise. Runs out the Cavalier of Dawn. What are they targeting? Target our Lurrus. No, I need that. Okay, it's gone. They pass to us. Gonna put counters on both our Aether Vials, draw a plains. We'll run out the Archon of Emeria, and they can just block the Reality Smasher all day. So yeah, we're just gonna pass. Opponent runs out the Risen Reef. Okay, they play a Swamp. They pass the turn. Well, we're gonna draw a card with the Soul Guide Lantern in end step. It's another land. Keep our vials on 3 and 5. Path to Exile. I like that. Well, we will attempt to path the Cavalier. Did resolves. Very nice. Aether Vial in our Reality Smasher. Just gonna swing in with everything. Opponent wants to kill the Reality Smasher. Then they take the rest down to 14. We pass to them. That's the Omnath. Gross. That is what we were afraid of. They get a forest. They go back up to 18. They play a fetch land. They get a bunch of mana. If they activate Field of Ruin, we are in trouble. They do activate Field of Ruin. Omnath deals 4 to us. They pass back to us. Keep our vials where they are. Run out a Giver of Runes. Swing in for 2. But if they're just gaining 4 life a turn and we can't deal with this Omnath, we're just doomed. Hit them down to 16. Thunderkin Awakener. No. They get a Risen Reef trigger. Oh, they got the land as well. Oh no. They crack the Bloodstained Mire, get themselves a Triome. Omnath's second ability is active. Thunderkin Awakener. Gets in, gets back the Cloudkin Seer. Risen Reef goes off again. They hit another land. Oh. No, Omnath. Well, we'll block here. They have to sack their Seer at the end of turn. They pass back to us. We're going to need a very good set of draws to get out of this. That could have been one of them, actually. That might be really good. I'm going to play out our Tocatli. Alright, it resolved. Swing in with the Archon. He might stand a chance. Alright, Omnath goes off. They gain 4. They're all the way up to 21 again. Ugh, I hate this deck so much. Vespelark. No attacks from our opponent and they pass. Selfless Spirit. That's a good one. We're definitely drawing well. I'm not sure if it's good enough, but we are drawing well. Just get in with the Archon again. Opponent blocks with the Vespelark. They get back the Thunderkin Awakener. Omnath triggers. They're all the way up to 25. They run out of Cloudkin Seer. Yep, that's your spell for the turn. You don't draw a card because of Tocatli. Thunderkin Awakener attacks. Gets back Vespelark. Okay, I think we take it this time. We know they can't cast anything. We'll eat the Thunderkin. We gotta hit our Graveyard Hate soon. Vespelark goes away. They get back the Thunderkin. They pass to us. Another Giver of Runes though, that's pretty good. No attacks this time, but we will run out the Giver. Pass it there. Opponent runs out of Flamekin Harbinger. Yep, no more spells for you. No attacks either. Well, I can get used to this. Passes to us. Reality Smasher. Now that's something I can get used to. Alright, there's the Reality Smasher. Swing in for 5. Opponent takes it. Down to 20. Yay! We've got our opponent back down to their starting life total. They play a Primal Beyond, go back up to 24. They run out another Flamekin Harbinger. Yep, that's your spells done. And they pass to us. A Displacer. I like Displacer. Get in with Reality Smasher. Opponent takes it down to 19. Pass the turn there. Another Flamekin Harbinger. No more spells for you. I think they're just trying to go wide. And they pass to us. Well, we're going to keep this Displacer a secret, I think. Ghost Quarter. We'll play out Ghost Quarter. Once again, swing in with the Reality Smasher. Opponent takes it down to 14. Pass it there. Opponent plays a Bloodstained Mire. It enters tapped. They go back up to 18. They got the Thunderkin Awakeners. Beginning of combat. So they can get a bunch of flyers back with the Thunderkins. So now we're going to activate our Aether Vial. Put our Displacer into play. Blink Thunderkin Awakener. Blink Thunderkin Awakener. Okay, that worked really well. We've got the path as well. Okay, well, we'll go to combat. We're just going to swing in with the Reality Smasher. Opponent's down to 13. Going to path that Omnath. Pass it there. Opponent plays a land. Cracks it. Sure, down to 12. It's a Steam Vents tapped. Goes to combat. No attacks. Okay, well, we'll blink Risen Reef. Blink Cloudkin Seer. Go to our turn. Lurrus, that's very good. Aether Vial in the Lurrus. Cast our Soul Guide Lantern. Just get rid of a Vespalark. We'll just swing with the Reality Smasher this turn, and then next turn we'll try and get him. All right, opponent's down to 7. Pass the turn. All right, scoops it up. Got to try to win before the clock runs out. Not a good place to be. So they've got the Damping Sphere, but Reality Smasher was so good. Skyclave does not feel great, but what else have we got going for us? Burrenton Forge-Tender? Yeah, pro-red, I guess. Get rid of 2 Skyclaves. Run it back like that. Please let us get a good hand. We are ahead on clock. We've got Tocatli, we've got Aether Vial, and we've got Selfless Spirit. We're keeping. Opponent leads on a Triome. We've got the Eldrazi Temple too. Well, we might keep that as a surprise. We're going to run out the Aether Vial. Pass it there. Opponent evokes an Ingot Chewer. Okay, trying to get our Aether Vial. That's fine. Plays a Primal Beyond. Tapped. Passes to us. Well, Shefet Dunes into Tocatli. Pass it there. Opponent plays a Cavern of Souls. Names Elemental. Has the Spite Bellows. Now, the flip side of Tocatli is they can evoke things and they don't sacrifice. The flip side of that is they don't get their ability, but they get a 6/1, which can be very difficult to deal with. Well, they pass back to us. Draw a Plains. All right. Well, we'll just run out Selfless Spirit. Pass it there. Opponent plays another Triome. No attacks. Okay. They're afraid. We draw another Plains. Yeah, I think it's just Smasher time. Reality Smasher comes down. Swings in for 5. So opponent blocks. So yeah, we're gonna sacrifice. Give Indestructible. Trample over him. Hit him for 4. Go on. Deal 6 damage, opponent. Yep. 6 damage hits our Indestructible Reality Smasher. Pass it there. Oh, that's another one. And a Bloodstained Mire, which they crack immediately. They get another Triome tapped. Oh, what I would give for a Magus. Okay, they pass to us. Backup Lurrus. I love backup Lurrus. Alright, well, we'll run out Lurrus. We've tapped our mana wrong, so we're going to deal a damage to ourselves to do this. But we're going to get back our Selfless Spirit. Just swing in with the Reality Smasher. Opponent blocks again. Well, we'll sacrifice the Selfless Spirit. Opponent goes down to 11. 12 damage to a Reality Smasher in a turn that's still alive. I love this deck so much. Opponent plays a Field of Ruin, yeah. Blows up our Eldrazi Temple. Sure thing. We've already got our Smasher down. Just get a Plains. They've got the Vespalark. They pass to us. So we're just going to get back the Selfless Spirit, run out of Giver of Runes, run out of Leonin Arbiter, and opponent scoops up the entire match. Okay, I did not think we were going to win that one. I had no clue we were going to win that one. All right, so what did we think of this mono-white nightmare of Eldrazi and new Zendikar cards, which don't feel like they should be together because they hate each other? They work pretty well together. I am in love with this deck. Normally, I don't play mono-white taxes. My main go-to is a white-red variant because then you can blow up lands. You got Magus, you get Goblin Crater Maker that can deal with a lot of threats, including opponents' Thought-Knot Seers. But Skyclave Apparition fills that role. Costs an extra mana, but it can deal with any non-land, non-token permanent with converted mana cost 4 or less. So that gives us game against Planeswalkers, the gods that we can't target. So Skyclave Apparition performed fantastically. I'm very happy with it. Just being able to have access to Path to Exile and Skyclave feels right for taxes. It feels very right. Being able to blink it with a Displacer. Don't think we did that. Maybe we did it. Oh, no, we had the option to do that against Goblins, and they saw that, and that's what got them to scoop. with the Eldrazi Displacer. Eldrazi Displacer in place of Selfless Savior. We can't get it back with Lurrus, but it's another way to protect Lurrus, and with the Eldrazi being able to bounce them around, being able to get extra ETBs off the Skyclave Apparition, and being able to blink our opponent's creatures like in that game against Elementals. Superb. Selfless Spirit seems to fill the role of Selfless Savior quite well. Normally I run a 2-2 split. Just running the 2 felt okay. We didn't come up against too many decks that had a lot of removal though. So maybe against Jund, I wouldn't want the Displacers because they might not stick around, and something like Selfless Savior might be better, and we can get it back with Lurrus. So I'm still up in the air about that, but Displacer felt good in those matchups. It did feel very good. The Eldrazi, they are a perfect fit for this deck. I normally don't like running them in my taxes lists just because I don't like Eldrazi, but hey, once you put your biases aside and play with them, they're really good performers. And hell, we're back on Zendikar, so it seems relevant. The Archon of Emeria in the sideboard, this card put in work. We brought it in against Goblins, we brought it in against Elementals, and we brought it in against the Cascade Living End deck. Maybe this card should be in the main deck, maybe. Maybe we ditch the Eldrazi altogether and we keep an Archon of Emeria and we find something else to fill the remaining slots with, because limiting your opponent to 1 spell per turn and taxing their lands by making them enter tapped just fits so well, and I just found that I kept bringing this card in, and it was so good. Managed to stop the Elementals in their tracks, stop them just burning through their deck, outvaluing us, so then we were able to make them play on our terms, and then we were just able to grind them out. It's a flyer. I did not feel that the weakness of it being a 2-3 as opposed to Eidolon of Rhetoric's 1-4 was much of an issue. Also, Eidolon of Rhetoric is an enchantment, which is not a strength in this deck. In Enchantress style decks, it can definitely be a strength. In taxes, it is a weakness. It means that their fringe card that can destroy target enchantment or exile an enchantment is just able to hit it as well. Being able to run this as a very good substitute. It is worse to bolt, I won't lie. Might struggle a bit more against the prowess style matchups, but it's also a flyer and a 2-2, so it's able to beat in more. I love it. This is a great card. I'm going to have to try and build a deck with it main deck along with the Skyclave. Now, the unsung hero of today was Tocatli Honor Guard. Tocatli Honor Guard stopped Elementals. Normally I bring in Tocatli Honor Guard for humans and Dredge. I haven't versed Elementals for a long time. Yeah, still works against Elementals. Great card. And now the sleeper of the deck that I think just put in so much work, and I'm so glad I tried it. Soul Guide Lantern. I didn't think of it until today, but Soul Guide Lantern is fantastic. So 1 mana, we get to exile a card from their graveyard, can just neuter our opponent's graveyard strategies. It's how we beat Living End. It also lets us draw a card, and it doesn't affect our graveyard with Lurrus. So even if they're not a graveyard deck, or even if they've sided out all their graveyard cards and we've sided ours in, with Lurrus, our Soul Guide Lantern becomes a draw engine. It's not as good as Mishra's Bauble, but it is a card that does something. And I think in taxes, you want cards that do something whether or not they're good. So it's able to do something and then it can draw a card. Whereas Mishra's Bauble, you play it, you don't get to draw a card. Maybe if you had replaced that with a different card, you would have got to draw it and you would have won. But I love it. Overall, this deck is fantastic. I'm having a blast playing it. I'm going to play it some more. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I release a video every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And until next time, have fun.